Haribo, so we're on a roll here with our question and answers. I'm going to do a couple more. One of the devotees asking that in the Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Madhya Lila chapter 24, there is an exchange between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda where they are fighting. And Advaita Acharya says, "Oh Nityananda, matcha kao, mas kao, kimata sannyasi, vastra ilamami edigvasi." He said, "Oh, you are eating fish. What kind of sannyasi are you? You've given up your cloth and become naked even. What kind of sannyasi are you?" So we should not be confused in thinking that Nityananda actually ate fish. This is one of the ways that, especially in Bengal, they will make fun of people. If they want to tease them, they'll say, "Oh, you're like a machlikor, like a fish eater," because generally we see in Bengal, villagers will take fish. So Advaita Acharya is teasing Lord Nityananda, not saying he's actually done this. Actually, Lord Nityananda has never taken this, but because he likes to meet with everybody without discrimination, Nityananda Prabhu is so broad-minded, he will embrace Chandals and everyone. And Advaita Acharya is following more strict rules and regulations according to Gita and Bhagavat. But Nityananda Prabhu is not actually doing these activities. We should not be thinking like that. Actually, those who try to see difference between Nityananda and Advaita and fight and take sides, they will fall down. So Mahaprabhu always advised that we must be very careful. So actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada himself talked about this pastime and this example. And in that, he said that when Advaita Prabhu became angry, he said that, "Oh, your behavior is like that of a Dari sannyasi who eats meat, fish, and who brags that he has given up sannyas." But actually, this is just like the tantrics. It's cool, man. This is just like the tantrics who are envious of those who are the Vaishnavas. Therefore, we should not. It's Nityananda, Advaita is doing this to tease him and to make an example. But really, we see in the Shakta philosophy, they will take wine, they will take meat, they will have illicit sex. But this type of activity is not characteristic of a sannyasi who is following proper Vaishnava Dharma. So actually, Advaita is warning us about what should and shouldn't be done as a sannyasi in the Vaishnava line. But he is not implying or trying to say Nityananda is doing this. He's actually just teasing him because Nityananda is avadut. And he meets with everybody and himself does not partake of these activities, but he was extremely liberal, allowing everyone to come into this. Chandale Brahmani Kore Kalatale. That equally embracing Brahmins, Chandalas, just to try to awaken their devotion in the Lord. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says that we should not hear and read these things and then consider Baladev or Nityananda to be fallen and not to be following proper behavior. Prabhupada says that this is very foolish, and doing so, if we think like that, then we will not be understanding Advaita's statements and will not be able to understand Advaita Acharya or Nityananda Prabhu. Actually, they're in this sarcastic kind of play. They had this ras, or this loving exchange with each other, which they like to tease each other. And their quarrel is transcendental. So actually, this is a good lesson for us to learn about not fighting and taking sides when high-class Vaishnavas may be seen to be doing activities or maybe arguing in a way that we cannot understand when we're on this more conditioned level. We see Bangsidas Babaji Maharaj, outside his kutir ashram, he would leave fish bones. And he would have people pass out chai just so that people would not come and disturb him. They would be outside in those activities and they would not come and disturb him. But when Param Gurudev came for his darshan, then people were saying chai, chai. And Param Gurudev's other godbrothers were saying, should we take the chai? This is Babaji Maharaj's prasad. He said, this is not Babaji's prasad. Let's go further inside. And when they went inside, they saw he is speaking with Gaurnitai and teasing them and directly speaking in a loving way with his Thakurji. So in this way, we should not be careful not to prematurely judge and discriminate upon the Vaishnavas without full understanding of their nature and their reasons for doing such things. It said, Vaishnavira Kriya Mudra Vijnana Anubhajaya. It's very difficult to understand the nature and the behavior of a Vaishnav when we're on a more neophyte level. Therefore, the Uttam Vaishnav is beyond all rules and regulations. Gurudev said Uttam Vaishnav is not part of any society. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said Uttam Vaishnav is beyond material society and rules and regulations. They're on the transcendental Paramahamsa platform. Therefore, you should be very careful not to make aparad an offense, because this will destroy your spiritual life. All right, one more question quickly, and then I'll let you go. There's a question about, again in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Lila, when Mahaprabhu takes Murari Gupta as his carrier, calling him Garuda. And then they began to run around in that kind of joyous exuberation. And they mentioned this pastime when the Lord, Garuda took the Lord to this place called Vanapur, and he cut Kartikeya's peacock into pieces. So actually we find this in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's a wonderful pastime there. My battery's emptying here, but if we read the Bhagavatam, we can find this pastime. This was related to the pastime of Krishna's grandchildren, and in the Mahabharata we can also find this reference. So there's a wonderful pastime there. We can find the Bhagavatam and the Mahabharata. So my battery's ending now. I got to stop. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.